What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the NVM channel. Today it's a diesel versus petrol day.
Motorsport is in the game. Okay.
So the Mark 7 GTD doesn't get enough love, in my opinion, in the world of performance hatches, but I do think it's a capable car. So the GTD comes out the factory with 184 brake horsepower, 380 newton meters of torque. This is a 6-speed manual variant and it has already got a ram air induction kit on there. So the purpose of today's video is to see if we can beat a Mark 7 GTI, which comes out the factory with 220 brake horsepower, but only 350 newton meters of torque. So let's see what we can do. So it ain't all about dyno figures. The GTD does a 0 to 60 in 7.5 seconds and the GTI does it in 6.5. So today's motive is going to be to try and beat the petrol variant of this performance hatch. It's a clean car, isn't it?
Smells nice.
Smells nice. You know when our customers drop off a car that's spanking clean and smells good, you know he's going to get some love.
Nice.
So, are we going in the car? Or?
So we're going to go for a little drive, gather as much data. Yes, we do have the owner's permission to gather this data. So all you guys in the comments with your keyboard worrying, saying we're ragging around a customer's car without their permission, we always have permission and we are insured up to the value of £2 million for any road risk or liability.
As we filmed all of this, and then Mabs has pressed delete. Or the GoPro. Okay, the GoPro missed us.
Check the recording.
Well, back to what I said earlier, guys. New coat. Looks wicked, yeah. This guy's jealous of it.
I have to press it. This intake sounds good, doesn't it? Ram air's intake on a diesel car, usually you find intakes and induction kits on a petrol car, so it's quite interesting that it does sound so good. It'll be interesting to see what it does on the dyno, whether it makes a difference.
So what, we're getting the stock figures now?
Yes, we're going to John's private road. We're going to do some 0 to 60s and see if we can hit 7.5 or beat it. It is a 6-speed manual, so it's going to be about the shifts, mate. Low satellite's not working, mate. Can I hold it against the window, please?
Can I, guys? Draggy problems.
Draggy life. Bogged down.
Bogged down.
Quick on the shift up. That's a 0 to 60 in 8.5 seconds, mate.
Attempt number 2.
We go now. It's bogging down.
Yeah, man. When the gear changes.
Better.
7.
8.2. It's not happening.
I think that bogged down at the beginning is causing a lot of issues. Always your hand's not fast enough, you know, guys. It's the automatics it's used to. The M3.
I think it's your weight. I think because you got gains in the gym.
Yeah, it's the gains from the gym.
You got gains in the gym. So our best timer today on this Mark 7 GTD is a 0 to 60 well, 0 to 62 in 8.2 seconds, when the factory claims 7.5. But that was probably without a passenger and a full tank of fuel.
True.
So let's see what we can achieve today. Well, that's really good to see. 183 brake horsepower and 390-ish newton meters of torque, which is about right for the figures. Although looking at the data log, it is almost hitting the factory EGT limit. Now that's because the soot quantity on the DPF is quite high, so I might have to do a regen and bring it down a little before we start tuning. Nice baseline runs, just over 208 brake horsepower and 440 newton meters of torque. Now it seems about right, but if you have a look at the graph, it is hitting component protection. So the EGT limit pre-DPF is rising. Once it hits 820 degrees, it will then reduce or boost an injection quantity, and it will start to reduce all power and torque too. So I'm going to raise that a little, few revisions in, change the start of injection a little, and try and get a nice smooth peak where it's usable, and then obviously tail off at the end so it keeps the intake temperatures nice and cool as well between shifts. And there we have it, guys. NVM Stage 1 ECU mapping for this Mark 7 GTD. 228 brake horsepower, 456 newton meters of torque. Absolute savage. We'll see how it relates to a Mark 7 GTR on the road, but I'll show you an overlay graph as well in comparison to a Mark 7 GTI. So here's both variants on the actual screen. You can see the Mark 7 GTI, and it's a petrol variant. It revs to about 7,000 RPM, so we'll ignore that section of the graph. But if you have a look at everything before then, the Mark 7 GTD does rev to about 4,700 RPM, and you can see a huge delta gain in power, about 40 brake horsepower at 2,700 RPM, and torque literally from 1,000 RPM to 3350, about 120 newton meters. That's what's going to equate to a quicker car on the road. So let's find out.
What are the shift muscles now? Can we get a 6 seconds out of this car?
No, to get the data correlating to the previous data, the shift muscles must be in the same,
Yeah, it's true.
as previous.
True.
As is the weight and the weather.
GCSE science taught us that.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad.
How quick did it?
Yeah, not bad.
Bogged down a bit less. What? That's a 0 to 60 in 7 seconds, mate.
Yeah, definitely worked then, didn't it?
I think there's more in it. It keeps bogging down. Obviously on this, you can't turn off the ESC completely. It goes into a sport mode, so I think that's going to be the limiting factor. But yes, 7.03 seconds. Do you think we can beat it?
I think we can beat. I think we can get into the sixes.
I mean, the good thing about these GTDs are they're charge cooled, so the intake manifold runs a charge cooler system, so intake temperatures actually drop as you're going through the rev range, which is mad, and it keeps it consistent as well.
Yeah. I don't know. It's felt a bit bogged down.
What are you talking about? It just did a 6.89.
Well done. Fair play.
6.89. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's just that first gear, isn't it?
It feels slow off the line.
God loves a trier. Let's see what we can do.
Third try, the charm.
You ain't got no one-liners. I just realised.
I ain't got any. I've given you all my slogans.
Third time lucky.
I've given you
like a normal person.
I've given you a slogan.
Third time lucky, bro.
Guys, if you're not tuned, get tuned.
Ready?
Third time's the charm.
Much better launch that. Short shifted into second. We did it! 6.42, mate.
Awesome.
0 to 62 in 6.42 seconds. So, prove the theory.
You can do it.
You can make a Golf GTD quicker than a Golf GTR.
Yeah.
So everyone, save your pennies, buy a GTD, get 50 miles to the gallon, give us a call for a tune, make it quicker than a GTI. So, a bit more than dyno numbers today. Hope everyone enjoyed today's episode on the Mark 7 GTD. Make sure you guys like, comment and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. And if you're not tuned, make sure you give us a call to get tuned.
Don't matter if you cars for the road or tracks. Mexico on the lanes, or Dunnington doing up laps. Car man, I got maps, doing up maps. Maximum power, cars get gapped. They got tuners, we got tuners, but their tuners are load up. Man got the map, what kind of map? Best boat map, fast this lap. Zoom in past, don't watch how big man map. 3 maps, take a passenger seat, watch a man collapse. Foot to the floor, rev to the max. Team come through like X. All you see is flames, all you hear is bullets and bangs. Subscribe and like, the visuals nice. With times in the cam, the drive is right when programmed by the MV gang. He's doing it well, he's doing it right, and they can't do it like man. NV Motorsport, it's in the game. Gang.